Welcome back to another exciting episode of Grammar with Miss Rose. This time, we are going to be reviewing the concepts of phrases versus clauses. Hopefully, if you are my student, this is something that you definitely already know. But in my opinion, this is a building block, and so I'm going to draw it as a Lego. So if you don't know how to tell the difference between a phrase and a clause, you aren't going to be able to do other pieces and parts of grammar that you'll learn later on in the year. Okay, next slide. Okay, go next. Okay. Oh, it's still recording. Yes. Oh, this app is great, guys. This is called Explain Everything, and it's awesome. Okay, so quickly to review, in order to talk about a phrase and a clause, we actually have to review this concept of subjects and verbs. The difference between these two concepts is really very important and is going to help you to determine what is a phrase and what is a clause. That's better, Miss Rose. So a subject is who or what the sentence is about. So in the case of just a normal sentence, maybe about Miss Rose, maybe it's Miss Rose is the subject of the sentence. Or maybe it's cats, cats is the subject of the sentence. Or maybe it's I, or me, or, oh God, me is never going to be the subject of a sentence. How about she? Pronouns can also be the subject of a sentence. Things, etc. A verb tells you something about the subject. It's usually an action or a condition of being. An action is, an action verb. That's, running and jumping and swimming and writing and thinking and reading and all that fun stuff. But the ones that act as conditions of being are your linking verbs. Kids are terrible at linking verbs. Am, is, are, was, were, be, been, become, turn, taste, look, appear, grow, sound, smell, seem, feel, remain, stay. These verbs act as equal signs. So the subject equals everything after. So something like Miss Rose is pretty. I can replace the linking verb is with an equal sign and it works. Miss Rose equals pretty. It's true. Let's do it with a different linking verb that one of the harder ones is like smells, seems. Miss Rose smells. I don't know, lovely. Miss Rose smells lovely. I know you were thinking awful things, students, weren't you? But Miss Rose does, in fact, equal lovely. These are all, the most common ones is obviously is, be, am, are, was, were, anything like that. Am, is, are, was, were, be. Been, become, those are all forms of be. And then you get to turn, taste, look, appear, grow, sound, smell, seem, feel, remain, and stay. And those literally are every linking verb in the world, which is why I have that song memorized, but you don't have to. Helping verbs help other verbs. They are attached to others to make them specific. Do is a big helping verb. For example, I do love swimming. Do helps love. I love swimming. Helping verbs appear in sets of two, right? So you'll have something that helps. I have loved swimming in the past. I have loved swimming. Like I used to love. M-M-I-N-G. Used to love, right? That's another. Have loved. They help. So when you see the word subject, it's almost always going to be called a subject. But another word for a verb is predicate. You might see the word predicate somewhere as well. If you struggle with subjects and verbs, perhaps this would be a helpful slide to snap a photo of. Look, I'll make it real pretty for you. Subject, verb, blurb, blurb. There you go. Snap your photo, kids, because we're moving on along. Let's do a little practice. I'm going to allow you a moment to pause the video and perhaps you write down these sentences and you can tell me where the subjects and verbs are. I'm going to wait for you to do that. Do 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 do. Okay, if you need more time, pause the video. Fine, sweet. So, Miss Rose is a teacher. So in this one, my subject is Miss Rose. I'm going to do all my subjects in red. And I don't know, all my verbs or my predicates in blue. Predicate. In this case, I see that is, I know that's a linking verb because it uses I can substitute the equal sign. Miss Rose is. So that's my subject and my verb. She likes llamas and podcasts. This is very true. The subject of that sentence, in this case, is the person the sentence is about. There are multiple nouns in this sentence. We have llamas and we have podcasts and we have she to think about. But she is the subject of the sentence because she likes llamas and podcasts. In this case, likes is a verb. But it's not a linking verb because if I tried it out as a linking verb, it would be she equals llamas and podcasts. And as much as I would love to be llamas and podcasts, I am not. It is not a linking verb. It is just a regular action verb here, whereas that one is a linking verb. I am listening to a podcast. Aha, okay, so the action of the sentence is my subject, or the person doing the action, and that's I. And then I have these two words here, am listening. Those are my verbs. Am is helping, listening. So we have a helping verb, helping the action verb, listening. Do I like listening to cereal? I do like listening to cereal. So in this case, the word do is turning this into a question. If I crossed do out, I just have I like listening to cereal. Anytime you have a question like this and you can take that question word out, do it. It'll be much easier. Because now you can see I am the subject of the sentence. And what am I doing? Well, I like listening. Hey, to like is an action verb and listen is an action verb, Miss Rose. Yeah, but we've put them together. Like is helping the verb listening. So we have another helping verb and another action verb. Whoa, AV, HV. Another helping verb and action verb here. This one hopefully you found quite a few subjects and verbs in here, didn't you? Because that's the point of this. What we're really getting to is identifying different chunks of sentences. So I left school and I turned on cereal. Miss Rose, turn. I remember you singing that. Is that a linking verb? Does I equal on cereal? No. In this case, it's the physical action of turning. It can be an action or a linking verb. I turned on cereal before I left the parking lot. There are 3 sets of subjects and verbs in here, and that's because your best sentences have multiple different clauses. Clauses, Miss Rose? Why, yes. The difference between a clause and a phrase is the clause has a subject and a verb. A phrase does not. And that's what we're talking about next. No. Alrighty, so clauses and phrases. I'm going to do my clauses in purple here. Sorry, phrases in purple. Phrases are clusters of words, just chunks of words that lack subjects and verbs. Or rather, they have one, but not both. So in the case of my examples here, I have blue cats with wings. I have a subject, but I don't have a verb. Funky smelling muffins. I have a subject, but I don't have a verb. These examples, dogs run, have a subject and a verb. Miss Rose teaches. These are not phrases because they have both. And that is the definition of a clause. And that's what these actually are clauses, because clauses contain a subject and a verb. They must have both. They must. So you'll see we have dogs run and Miss Rose teaches. And then we also have this extra example here that says when I left. Notice we have a subject, I, and a verb, left. What about this word, this word when here, Miss Rose? Yeah, I understand that this sentence here does not stand on its own. This is a dependent clause. It depends on what comes after it. But it is still a clause because it contains a subject and a verb. Then my non-examples are actually the phrases, right? Blue cats with wings doesn't have a verb. Funky smelling muffins, verbless. Funky smelling is describing the muffins. These are both adjectives here. And these are the building blocks of all sentences. If you are able to pick apart a sentence and say how many clauses exist there, you are able to construct sentences as if these are the Lego blocks of grammar. And that's the most important part. And then you have two clauses and you throw a couple phrases in there, like a prepositional phrase or one I'm going to teach you later called an appositive phrase, and suddenly your sentences rock. Because you must care about this. There are different types of phrases. You've already learned prepositional. We're going to learn appositive and verbal phrases as the rest of the year goes on. Prepositional phrases fit this definition when school... Oh, wait, no, that's a terrible example. Ha 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 ha. Let's try again. How about something like around the corner? Never come up with examples on the spot, guys. See, also R-N-E-R. Don't talk about things that you're not thinking about. Around the corner. A corner could be a subject, right? But there's no verb there. So that fits the definition of a prepositional phrase, or rather, that fits the definition of a phrase. There are also types of clauses. You have an independent clause, which can stand alone, and you have a dependent clause, which cannot stand alone. These two types of clauses, when put together, form compound, complex, and compound, complex sentences. And if grammar all year long is about forming different kinds of sentences, this is really, really important. So, I'd like to try these out your own. Maybe you take a screenshot of this and you write on it in markup, or you write them down in your journal, or you just write it on a piece of paper. But take a couple seconds, pause the video, write these down, determine if they're phrases or clauses. You're pausing the video so I don't have to wait. Okay, here we go. I ran. Ah ha ha. So this right here means that this is a clause. But if I didn't have I ran, if it was just to the teacher tank, that would be a phrase, right? Speaking of, to the teacher tank, that is a phrase. She swam. She swam. Subject, verb. Miss G, she's Mrs. Mrs. G loves the ocean. We have a subject and a verb. The big blue ocean, just a phrase. No verb there. I ate, that's a clause. Around the bend, no verb. Before the exam, no verb. C, P, C, C, P, C, P, P. All right, I'm done teaching you this stuff because hopefully this is a pretty easy review for you guys. At this point, you may bring this up to whoever is watching you, whether it's me or a sub or maybe nobody at all and you're watching this at home. I don't know what I'm going to do with this video one day. But at this point, you can feel free to start your worksheets regarding phrases and clauses. You should be good to go. Again, my name's Miss Rose.
And I'm Mr. Venice.
And that's Mr. Venice. And together we're...
I don't know, what are we, awesome?
Awesome! And you are going to do your grammar now.